backgrounds for our journal, the word book of note. Oh, I am having so much fun doing this, and I hope you are having as much fun as I am in creating these wonderful backgrounds. Today, I used some clear gesso on the background. Remember the other day when I put Mod Podge down first? I applied this just exactly the same way. This is clear gesso. And if you don't understand what gesso really is, I just made a short explainer video that I will put on the blog about gesso and why you use it versus just starting to paint on the page. I do it especially in books because I don't want it to leak through and seep through to the other side. You can put papers down so it doesn't get onto the page after that, but it will seep through more to the other side of the page. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. I'm still into circles, and we are going to be making what I call acrylic washes today. They are one of my go-to backgrounds for all kinds of my art, is just starting out with nice acrylic washes. So I've got a nice medium to dark cobalt blue here, and I've got a white, and I'm just going to add like a brush full of water is all I added there to this one. I don't want straight paint. I want it very wet, very inky, very soupy, and you can't hardly have too much water in this technique because you want it to run and drip and play. So see, I'm going to tilt this up and hope you can see that. That's one of the things we're looking to do today. And you can splash with it is another fave thing for me to do. And you can come in here and you can dab at it with a cloth and soften those up if you like. That's just part of it. I'm going to show you this little area right there. That looks like I missed it. I did not get the gesso on in that area, so you can see how the paint is taking a little bit different look and feel there, and that's okay. Sometimes I do that on purpose. Sometimes I make it, the background's funky with the gesso, so I will have definitely have those marks in there. All right, I am just going to take some more water on my old grungy brush. I am going to get some white and make a little white one, hopefully, or a lighter blue one. And come in here and just put some more of that on there. And this is just all the fun. And let it run wild and free in every direction. And I'm going to dab at it a little bit, because when you dab, you can remove some back, and that looks good. I'm just going to keep on building layers with my paints. And of course, I always love circles. I love to use something like an old toilet tissue roll to come in and make some more marks in here. You can use it as a stamp and move it onto other areas. Of course, you can use lids. You'll see me doing those a lot of times. And I'm putting way too much on there. I wouldn't normally do that many. You can use old things of tape if you want bigger ones. So just have fun. Find things around the house to use and use them. And then I'm going to come in here. I'm getting all the same color because I probably should have used two different plates. Duh! So I'll just happen to have two. Let me put some white on this one and get some white inkiness going here. And there we go. That's a little bit lighter. And you can let that run also and drip. And how fun is this? And go ahead and make some more marks with circles. Come in here and dab if you've got too much and you don't want all of that. My cloth is kind of dirty, so I'm getting even more texture in there than I anticipated or wanted. But that will easily just flick off. Let me swipe some of that off. Okay. I'm going to put down a little bit of my white around the edges. And then I'm going to rinse my brush off just a hair so it's not totally white. And get some darker blue. Again. And come in and get some of these areas around the edges. I'm going to run this way. It's messy, but it is fun. And backgrounds, you want the first background to be interesting, but a lot of times in our books, this is barely going to be visible when we finish. I think next Sunday's talk, my next Sunday's chat, is going to be talking a lot about why we're creating backgrounds and why we're creating 40 of them during our little process here. Because it's like, what are we going to do with 40 backgrounds? Well, trust me, if you start making books and journals, you are going to want as many backgrounds as you possibly can get. You never can have too many backgrounds. So you just keep building this up and playing with this with layers of color. You can let them dry in between if you want. There's another little nuisance, but you can see the nuances here. Hopefully, you can see those. Let me see if I can get a cleaner dirty cloth and come in here and pat some of these areas. And I'm kind of doing this so I can keep on building on camera for you, because a lot of times I would allow these to dry in between. And let me turn this over and show you that some of it is coming through where I pressed, and this of course is leaking around the side. It's coming off of my wax paper and leaking around the side. But you can see the regular marks are not coming through. But if I pressed hard, they are coming through the gesso, if that makes sense. So let me get another little bit of darkness in here. And I think this will be my last inky layer on here. This is going to be pretty dark. And I'm going to come this way this time. And if I need to, I can add more water to let it run and drip. I can splatter it and let those drips happen. But you can see where we're going and how much fun this is. And there's no right or wrong. Again, no right or wrong. It just is what it is. And get back here and add some more circles. If you know me, you know I can't have too many circles. That's part and parcel of my brand, is the 8, which is 2 circles joined together in infinity for me. So I think I'm just going to stop now and let this rest and let it dry. You can see how flimsy that page is getting also. So I don't want to get it too much off, more wet, because I don't want it to kind of start disintegrating. Even though I put the gesso on there, it could start pulling the paper fibers apart if they get too wet. Have fun with this and see what you can create. Use different colors. Have fun with it. And this is our acrylic wash background for today. And we'll probably do a couple of more of these before we finish in different colorways. Especially if you're a vintagey person, you might want to use some browns and some sepia tones. But anyway, this is Rebecca, and have fun today, and I will catch you tomorrow in our Journal the Word Book of Notes course for another background. May joy be with you all.